decision points are extremely important. It shows that there is points in the process that are either quality control or perhaps are checking to make sure that everything is going as smoothly as needed. So if you find that there are way too many decision points, sometimes you find processes that can be more automated, or you can find a process that has less decisions. But you have to be careful. Simply trying to decrease decision points just for the sake of decreasing decision points can have consequences that are very negative on the process. Now, if this was a process that was, say, in a bakery instead of an Amish kitchen with one person doing it, one thing you can do is make swimming lanes. Essentially what that is that you have these very faint lines going across the entire paper, and in each lane, it represents, most of the time, it could be a different division or a different group or a different person. So if we're in a bakery, let's say we have one person who they are the inventory managers, and that's all they do. And someone else, their operations, they actually do all the mixing and cooking. And let's say you have a person who all they do is to ensure that the temperature in the ovens are maintained. And so every time there's a step that has to do with, perhaps the first lane is that inventory person, the shipping clerk, whatever that position is, every step that they do participate in the process, you make sure it's in their lane. In the second lane, let's say it's the operations person, every step that they do, it goes in their lane. And so you end up with a process map that it goes up and down, but the actual steps are in the proper lane of whoever's actually doing that step. One thing to remember about process mapping, it has to be intentional. When you process map, you're deciding, okay, we're going to look at this process, we're going to do continuous improvement, and then when we get down to the current state, are you doing this to improve time? Are you doing this to improve quality? Are you doing this for both? Are you doing this because you have no idea of what's going on? It's not even documented. So perhaps you're just doing this because you need it documented. And one thing that you always want to think about when you're coming up with these ideas, and you should have discussions about them, is how do they affect each other? For instance, if we do a premix, how is that going to affect quality? And so every time you talk about something, you have to think, is it going to affect quality? Is it going to affect the time? Is it going to affect human resources? What are the consequences of this idea as well? Because a lot of times you don't find out about the intended consequences until you actually implement them. And so you have to be very analytical about the ideas that you come up with and how it's going to affect the process itself and, more importantly, the final product.